This ST180 we bought completely blind. It was a complete mess all round. The suspension is sagging. Engine we don't think runs. Interior is a complete mess. The key is not registering. We can't even test any of the features of this car. What are we gonna do? Honestly, I can't believe that's just done that. Like, I'm still thrown by that. Oh, inside me, I'm literally done. Like, oh. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back the Fiesta ST180. For those that don't know, we actually purchased this completely blind, and this is how it showed up. We had no idea on what was going on with this car, the story behind it. Well, we briefly knew the story, but we didn't know what state it is in, you know, what parts are good, what's not, does the engine run? We didn't really know anything. So for those that don't or haven't watched the previous video, go and check that out. But this is the Fiesta ST180 in a very sorry state. And as you can see, it is in a really sorry state. Even the headlights have got this like lacquer peel that's come completely off, which is a real shame. It's obviously been sat in a very damp place, whether it's by some trees or something, because there is loads of green. The headlights have obviously gone like that, which is not a common thing, in my opinion, to happen unless they're not clean. So obviously something's been sat on those and it's just chewed away at the lacquer. As you can see, the rest of the car is very grim. Grill's missing. Again, it's just very cloudy. The lacquer's gone. Probably be able to wet and dry those. Yeah, that's clearly got no spring or anything in there, and it's very, very green, as you can see and as you saw on the previous video. Now, we're not going to go too far into what is missing and what's, you know, what's meant to be there and what's not there, etc., because we did all that in the last video. What today's video is about is just actually trying to see if we can see, you know, any reason why this is like this, and just go a bit deeper with it and see what we can do with this little ST180. Again, something's been, or someone's been in here just completely taking things apart. So yeah, it's got no coolant, no oil cap. So this is literally just like a bit of a mystery. So coming inside, the clock's light up. It's done 96,000 miles. That's a new sign that I've not, or a new display that I've not seen yet, but it's just gone off. Just currently randomly said sport mode, which is a bit strange. Yeah, not had that yet. So I'm just gonna press start on there. Yeah, key not detected. See that? Yeah, key not detected. And this is the problem I'm having. As soon as I press OK, it just goes off. So with the key not detected, obviously I had to move the car. So I just took off the steering locking mech. Now I'm not going to show you how to do that because I don't want to encourage that, but I had to take off that, and that's the key reader. So I've got the key in my hand. I've even changed the battery in here. My worry is the key has somehow unsynced itself to the vehicle, so we can't actually do anything inside the car just yet. There's a few lights and stuff on, as you can see in there, and under the, just under the glove box panel there, or above the glove box panel, sorry. But we can't do anything right now, so I'm just going to have a look around the rest of the car. Never seen these before as well. These look like some sort of aftermarket Ford thing, which is a shame because the actual standard ones are a lot better than those. I might be wrong unless there's some sort of special things, I don't know. So we're just going to open up the boot. Lights are working, which is something. This is the first time I've actually opened this boot. And let's just get this carpet out of the way. Again, very, I don't know what's going on in here, but very grim. And we've got some form of, almost looks like ground pipes or something. Probably should have gloves on for all this stuff, to be honest. In fact, let's go and put some gloves on. So now we've got some gloves on, only because I don't know where these pipes have come from, you know, and it doesn't smell that amazing in here. So yeah, let's just put some gloves on and not put germs everywhere. Not quite sure what that airbox is. No idea. So, Audi VW box, which is strange. Whether they're trying to make that into some sort of big airbox for this car, I don't know. And there's loads of other stuff in here as well. Coming in the passenger side, does anyone else hate these wind deflectors? Because I used to like them, like years and years ago. Now they just, yeah, as Edwin would say, on top dead centre. Edwin from Top Dead Centre, this is for you. We don't like those. So interestingly, opened the passenger door. And the daylight running lights have actually just come on. Well, that one has. This one hasn't, which is a little bit annoying, but would help. That is not plugged in. So I didn't even realise that. So the headlight's not plugged in either. That'd be why that doesn't work. So it kind of makes me wonder what else isn't plugged in on this car. Now, I appreciate this video is probably a little bit weird and I'm just walking around like, I don't know this and I don't know that. And I'm generally just walking around the car with you right now, and I know as much as you do about this. And like I say, even that headlight, I just didn't even know it wasn't plugged in. But I'm noticing a lot of things not plugged in and stuff. And it's almost like this car was a donor car. Maybe it wasn't really working to begin with, and maybe they bought it as a bit of a donor for their own vehicle. I just don't know. But yeah, so many bits missing, which is a real shame, because it's probably a really nice car once in its time. Back on the passenger side, you got the windscreen trims that I can't get out. Get that out of the way. Cowling trim there. Side skirt. Got some more of these things. Seems to have loads of these things. Get this side skirt out of the way. Just had to get my trusty little light, because the lighting in here is just so bad. I've literally just got two of those things, which I need to get sorted because they're terrible. But anyway, so standard airbox in here then, which is interesting. And it's also had the MAF sensor removed, which is just down there. Again, this car is just literally just been a little donor car or something for someone, because there's a turbo actuator there as well. And obviously here's all the brackets. Another coolant cap, which is also strange. At least that's actually got the pressure bit in it, whereas the other one I saw earlier didn't. Got the standard turbo elbow. Random block. Some CDs. It's like the turbo boost pressure sensor as well. Some bulbs. And now let's say there's the MAF sensor and a MAP sensor there. And that would have been from obviously the intercooler pipe. Nothing in the glove box. So this has all been pulled down, which is interesting. I don't know what all this is. That God knows. But yeah, this is in a really bad way. I'm not gonna lie. Look at the back seats, man. I feel so sorry for this car. It literally just doesn't deserve this life. It's a real shame. These are such cool little cars, really, for what they are. But yeah, this is in a really bad way. I really can't work out what's happened with it and why. But yeah, unfortunately, this is in a bad way, and we're gonna have a work cut out with this one. So just pulled up the seat base. For those that don't know how to pull up the seat base, you'll see on my how-to guides how to take off or remove the seat base from a Ford Fiesta. As you can see, there's rust down there. There's clearly been water sat in here. There's money over there. There's a spanner, straws. So it looks like this car was actually previously in the building trade, or it was at least used as a car to get someone to and from the building trade. In my opinion, that's what it looks like. And then maybe it become a bit of a donor car, maybe something went wrong with it and it's been used as a parts car, maybe for their other one they've got or whatever, but it's clearly been sat a long time now, and I do think this is the reason why the key is not working, because there could be numerous of issues. Now, underneath the driver's seat there is a central locking module which links up to the key, and there's also the key receiver. I think they're on the back in these, or possibly under the center console under here, can't quite remember, but yeah, there is the key receiver that also might be faulty. But you know, trying to replace that and try and get that coded in with the central lock-in and try and find the problem, it's really not worth it. The car is in a really bad way, and so this car will be a parts car for anyone wanting certain parts. Now, we've got our work cut out in regards to a lot of the seats and panels, you know, to try and clean them up, but we will clean those up because that's what we're good at. We always clean the parts up the best we can for good, you know, stock. Again, looking around the car, it's even got like the aerial missing, which is probably not helpful for why it's, you know, a mess inside, because water would have gone in there and it would have, yeah, it would have ruined all the electrics. So I think sadly this is part of the reason why it's in this way, because little things like that, obviously it's definitely been stood by, you know, trees or something, and gradually now and then things have just been taken off and they've been used. Like I say, it looks like it's got decap pipe there as well. Again, it's got no exhaust on it. Headlights have been removed or unplugged. There's just a lot going on. So guys, if you've got this far, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. That would mean the world to me and this channel, and that would help us grow. We'll be able to do more how-to guides, we'll be able to do more videos like this, we'll be able to get more cars bought unseen, and hopefully we'll be able to actually repair some, because that would be kind of cool. But you know, it has to be for a financial benefit, because I can't just try and build this one back up because I'm not going to make any money on it, and that's, you know, that's not good for the business, it's not good for me or my time. So unfortunately this one will be for parts. So a lot of you might be questioning, where is this video going? And that is a good question. So we are going to delve deeper into this car. We're going to bench test that engine and see what compression that engine actually gives us. That gives us an insight on if it's an okay-ish healthy engine. I know that doesn't actually show you everything, but at least if the compression's good, it's got a little bit of a chance. So that is definitely going to be happening. So we're going to undo everything that we can see, do everything in the engine bay, get that engine out, front end's going to come off. Literally, it's going to be a bare front end, and you're going to see that shortly. So we're just taking the bumper off, and as you can see, there are bolts which line in from the wings to the bumper, and with the headlight removed you can see where these bolts are, and I'm just undoing the bolts here. It's a lot easier if you remove the wheel because you can get better access behind the arch liner, but I've just done it with a wobbly extension on there and I managed to get it off. With these undone, we've just had to undo the T30s on the arch liner, go underneath the car as well, pull off the plastic clips, and the bumper has now been removed. And as you can see here, there is loads of damage on the front. There's usually like a plastic surround on that front panel, and it's all been damaged. So I've just taken it all off, unplugged the fog lights, and now undoing the front end and just popping off that under tray as well. They're held on by 8mm bolts. There's 3 on the bottom, and then as you can see, there's some at the top, and there's a little plastic trim you need to move out the way as well. So I'm now just undoing the Jubilee clips from the intercooler pipes, loosening them off nicely. Yep, pull them off. Yeah. Yeah, that should not happen. That's coming out the end of the quarter pipe. Turbo dead. So I'm now just removing the battery and all the battery box. The ECU's coming out, just doing all the bits on the top of the engine that's in the way that you need to remove the engine. So all the gear selector cables are coming out, and then all the wiring loom is getting pulled out of the way. The fuel lines, you know, all the aircon pipes, everything is being removed. We've literally just undone all the gear selectors. Anything that attaches to the engine side has been disconnected, like the loom. Any coolant pipes have been disconnected, same as the fuel lines. Obviously the battery and everything was removed. All the rad and this whole front radiator pack has all been disconnected. There's one pipe just at the bottom I've got to disconnect, but I'm going to jack the car up and do all that in a second. All the coolant bottle's been removed, and then I've just got to undo this downpipe because it's a aftermarket one. It's fitted slightly different. So that's the car jacked up in the air. Really need to get a lift in here. But the car's jacked up in the air. Just put it on axle stands. Going to whip the front wheels off. Annoyingly, that bolt on that decap pipe is rounded. Shock. It's just a bit of a nightmare, this car. And regarding the shock this side, there is a spring in it. So it must mean, judging by that cover, I reckon the shock's completely blown. Looks like it might have even had some potentially aftermarket springs. Won't be able to tell until I get this fully off. Also just noticed random nuts just floating around, and the drop link also not in place. Definitely rushed this car. I haven't even undone any wheel nuts yet, look. Poor thing, it's definitely in a bad way. Okay, so just got the wheel off, and look at the state of this tyre. For first thing, it's literally just bald completely. It's also a real lip, I don't know if you can quite see that, on that edge. And then if you look, it literally looks like this car has either been sat in a field or crashed in a field, and then it just got recovered and sat on a driveway. But what I'm a little bit baffled about, I need to check the numbers on these, is ST calipers are normally red from my experience. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but normally these are red, and the same with the back, and they're not red either. So a little bit baffled by that. So we're just going to start removing the wing just to get it out of the way, because we're probably going to sell the wings anyway. So they're 10mm bolts holding it in. You can see there's two up there. There's one just underneath as well that we're just going to undo. And then you have to get inside the wing, and there is another 10mm in there. And you've also got 10 underneath. I've already undone these. Sometimes they're a little bit stubborn, the ones underneath, and you just have to chip away the paint to actually get a good grip on the 10mm bolts. So now I'm just wiggling the wing out, just because there's a 10mm bolt behind the front quarter glass. Now I'm not going to pull that out, there's no need. I've taken many like this off with no issues. Did try and get it on camera, but I've just missed. But you'll see, if you get the wing off, there is a bolt behind the front quarter glass, and it's a little bit of a pain to cut it out if you want to put it back, if that makes sense. So there is a bolt just behind this front quarter glass. Why, Ford, did you put a bolt just behind there? It's like you put it in and then was like, oh, actually, we need to put some glass there. So you just like, yes, sod it, just put it there anyway. It's fine, don't worry about it. And I'm just pointing out here where the rest of the bolts go. One just there. And as you can see, the whole front end is now off on that side. So just go around the other side, arch liner off, pulling that wing off, getting those two bolts underneath, as I mentioned earlier. The wing is now off. Now I've just got to undo the coolant pipe underneath, which there was hardly any coolant in, hence why the bottle was completely empty. And then undone the other intercooler pipe, and also oil just went everywhere from that one as well. I'm not having fun with this, let me tell you that. So that's the whole front radiator pack off the car. As you can see, I've still got the buckets just down there because bloody pipes keep leaking everywhere, which is really annoying. I actually hate mess. All this has come off the arch liners and inside the wings, and then obviously I've got the absorbent stuff for the oil that decided to drop out the intercooler pipes, which obviously isn't normal. Everything's disconnected. Still got to get to the back. Got my coffee. Still got to get to the back of the downpipe. I'm going to need to get one underneath as well, and there's a little bracket underneath that I've got to undo that holds it. It's like a little support bracket, so I've got to get underneath the car and do those. And what I did notice is, as we can see here, literally all bolts loose, as we said, no drop link. And also, what else do you see missing? Oh look, no drive shaft. There's no drive shaft. Also the ball joint bolt is completely missing. So no wonder this was completely sagging, and they look like they are aftermarket lowering springs because they're blue. No idea what colour or brand they are. But yeah, this car has definitely been tampered with and loads of parts just gone missing. So I'm kind of glad that I'm doing what I'm doing, because you just don't know what else has been done or hasn't been done. Probably explains why it doesn't register the key. There's probably some other bits missing inside, which is, yeah, a real nuisance. So I'm literally just going to undo this hub nut. I think they're a 30, possibly a 32, but I'm pretty sure they're 30. And then we're going to undo this. This is an 18mm off the track rod end. Just whack that out of the way. Undo the ball joint. Move the wishbone down. Don't know why my camera keeps doing that. It's really annoying. Pop that drive shaft out. I'm guessing there's no oil in there, but we're going to double check and drain the oil from the gearbox. Pop the drive shaft out. Sort that downpipe. Undo the lower mount. Right, mate? As we were saying, just going to undo that lower mount just there, and then we're going to undo the downpipe. So all we've got to do is literally just get under there, undo the downpipe, do that mount, and obviously pop this drive shaft out, and then the engine should be quite loose because it's just sitting on these two mounts. And then my plan is to just get a pallet under there, pallet truck, drop the engine, and then engine out, and then we can undo the coils and then try and get a compression tester in here. Now I know the spark plug's quite small on these, so I need to check if I've got an adapter to fit this engine. So yeah, let's tidy up all this mess, because I hate mess. I don't like doing this normally. So let's get rid of all this, make it all nice and clean again, get everywhere we want off, and then we can get this lump out. I'm wondering whether this series is literally make or break me. I said that about the BMW, but I do like to moan sometimes, but this Fiesta, like literally, has been just bodge after bodge after bodge. I've dismantled hundreds, 200 of these, maybe more, when I was working at Gala Motors. I was a dismantler there, and I never come across all of these issues. There's so many parts that are just not there. They've all got different sizes, or they're rounded, or the turbo, for example, is just, I've just undone this pipe that connected under here, sorry, and that was also full of oil, which I expected, but it just went everywhere again. So I've had to tidy up again, and now I've just put a blanket on the floor because I've just mopped all the floor. So now I'm going to lay on the floor and get underneath, but it is almost out. My sanity is coming to an end, but we're nearly there, and then we're going to, yeah, bench test this and see. I mean, the good news is the turbo being gone probably is the reason why this car is off the road, and probably a few other little problems. And it literally looks like someone's just gone, yep, cool, I've got a part, I'll sell that to you. Or they've got another one and they're just like, yeah, I'm going to take that part off of it. And then, yeah, now here we are, which is not a complaint. This is just me just saying as it is. And the good thing is, if I can salvage some parts off here, that will help you guys. So hopefully we can get some good parts off here. That is great for you guys. That's good for the channel and great for the business as well. So yeah, other than it doesn't register the key, it's got parts missing, the airbox is missing, the drive shaft's missing, The bottom ball joint bolt's missing. The drop link's missing. Numerous parts missing, probably inside missing. Obviously it doesn't start. The turbo's completely seized. Loads of parts broken in the front. Looks like it's had a rear ender as well because the back bumper's gone. The front grill's missing. What else is there? I think so far that's all I can find. But yeah, all in all, yeah, great car. Other than all those things, I think we're good. And the next question that you guys might want to know, and probably I do want to know, if I knew all of these things, would I have purchased this car, or at least paid the money that I paid for it? And that's a good question. I'm going to let you know at the end of this video, because I've still got to take the engine out and then see what else is around the car. This is probably going into a 2-episode part of this. I'll try and get the engine done on this one, and I've got to strip all the interior after that and all the boot lid and everything else. Is it worth it? Comment down below. What would you do with it? Would you have fixed it? Would you have parted it out? What would you do to this Fiesta 180? Let me know. I'll be interested to see in your comments of what you would have done at this stage.
Okay, so now I've stopped waffling. Just going to pop this drive shaft out, get that steering rack off. That's an 18mm nut. Whack him off with the hammer, and then get underneath with the ball joint bolt, which is a 15mm nut and a 13mm bolt. Just knock that through, and that will get that wishbone away. Just knock that down with a hammer, and as you can see, it's all free. So I'm just going to lower the engine now, and these are 18mm nuts holding onto the mounts. They've got 15mm actually holding the mounts in, so I'm just going to do the 18 first, lower the engine down, and then I'm going to undo the 15s to remove the mounts out the way. As you can see, not such a hard process. Got the dolly underneath there, just lowered the engine, and it should be all good to go. So I just had to get the lever bar just to move that mount bracket at the top there, and as you can see, the engine is moving quite freely. I'm literally just going to pull that engine out now, just move some coolant lines out the way so they don't all drip all over the floor for any of the excess left in there, and I'm just going to pull this engine straight out.
Right guys, one engine out on a dolly. It's quite secure there, even though that wood's on a slant. I'm not going to put my fingers under there, so that's fine. Next thing I'm going to do, get the 8mm, take these coils out, then it'll be the plugs, and then I'm going to try and bench test it, and then try and compression test, jump it off the starter, which is only just here, use my jump pack, and hopefully that'll have enough power to crank it over. We'll see. We have to leave the gearbox on and the flywheel, because obviously the starter needs to turn the flywheel to start the engine, and then that will show hopefully what the compression is on the engine. Now we can't obviously open the throttle, but I mean we could, but not as easy. But if we give the results without the throttle, that would be a good result.
So 8mm bolts holding the ignition coils all removed, then started taking out the spark plugs by hand, and then I decided to turn over the engine by the ratchet, and this is where it all went wrong.
Guys, I literally have just got this and I've turned it over. Very stupid of me not to even think. This is a schoolboy error right here, but you know, this is like a guy that hasn't seen someone for a very long time. Literally all the way on the ceiling. Like, wow, how's your new painted white unit? Like literally, this engine is covered in oil. So both that turbo, both the intake and the exhaust seals have completely gone, and they've obviously gone in the engine, which is quite drastic. So chances of actually getting a good compression now is going to be very slim, because it's just going to be covered in oil. So this engine will have to probably be, you know, sold for spares or repairs. There's probably no point trying to do a compression test on this. I'm just going to put a cover over all of this now to stop it. Literally, that's, I'm laughing, but inside that is destroying my soul. Literally, that's just, yeah, that's a joke. I literally, like, honestly, I can't believe that's just done that. Like, I'm still thrown by that. Like, I wasn't even turning it quick, and it literally must have just been so stuck in there. Guys, you would probably know. And that's happened. Like, oh, inside me, I'm literally done. Like, oh, I hate mess, I hate oil. I don't normally deal with oil for this reason, as you can probably tell. It's now going to stain the whole wall. It is what it is. Let's just crack on with this. Turns over nice and free, funny enough. As you can just, you hear that. Literally sounds like Bonnie Blue. No offense. Alright, the underside of this is going to be just literally, yeah, look at that. It's such, I don't even know what to do. I'm just trying to clear it all out. The turbo, wow, I've only just looked at this guy. Guys, I think it's safe to say the engine's going to be dead. Let's be honest. It's going to be dead. I'm going to have to strip this engine down. Look at the turbines, it's literally, just trying to get that light in there. They've definitely gone through there. And chances are that hasn't come out the exhaust. It's probably gone in the engine, I don't know. Either this is just going to have to be sold as spares or repairs, or I'm going to have to split it down because that is a mess. Literally at this point, guys, don't buy a car blind. This is just, by the time I'm doing all this, this is giving me a massive headache. I mean, it's quite funny. I mean, look at the wall. I wish you guys had that on camera. I only had it on time lapse, but didn't show it. But yeah, literally, this is complete mental. This car, this is why I've got it, let's be honest. Otherwise it would still be on the road living its dream, but sadly I'm not. Good one. But I think for now that is it for this video. Now if you did like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you hate me moaning, just comment. I don't mind, honestly. I'll appreciate any comments that I get from you guys. Good feedback, constructive feedback, whatever. I appreciate all of your comments. I appreciate everyone watching it. If you did like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, because that means the world to us. And that means we can buy some more junk like this. I'm joking. Hopefully it means that we can buy some better cars so we can actually put them back on the road and not ones like this. But, you know, this is make or break. This is the break. It's also, you know, life in the motor trade. This is how it is. So I like to give a first-hand experience for you guys, and that's just the reality. These things happen, that happens. There's just been a mess everywhere. Anyway, enough waffle. If you did like this video, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. See you later.